is a Monday afternoon. Welcome to the Chad Prather Show. Hope everybody had a fantastic weekend and that you're just feeling good about life, man. I feel great. I feel great today. I went to sleep last night about 11 o'clock and got up to pee twice and still got out of bed at 3 a.m. I've been up. So, yeah, I can't keep up this pace. I need some sleep or something, man. I don't know. A lot on my mind, a lot of stuff going on. It's a crazy world we're living in, and we're going to try to make a little bit of sense of it today. I know that, I don't know, we're going to lead off with this whole Grammy thing, and I know that's not the idea. Like, most of y'all don't want to talk about that. I get it. But there is a point I want to make to showcasing the nonsense. And before we go any further into that world of craziness, let me remind you to hit like, hit share, get involved in the chat, talk to us. If you're going to send a super chat for the end of the show, well, do it over on my Rumble page. How about that? Graham's got enough money. I kid. I don't care where you do it, but it is fun to say, feed me, I'm starving. Honestly, I could live off the fat of the land for a couple of weeks, especially after looking at those celebrities last night on the Grammys, which I'm going to go ahead and confess right up top. I didn't watch it. I don't watch award shows. I don't watch any award shows. I see the clips afterwards. I hear what others are saying about it, so I'm not a subject matter expert, but I've seen enough and I've heard enough to know that basically it all boils down to celebrity opinions. Nobody cares what some actor who pretends to be a pirate for a living thinks about global warming or the latest political scandal. And definitely nobody cares what a singer has to say on any topic. You got these celebrities, and it's fascinating to me how they live in a bubble surrounded by yes men, and they got personal trainers that have their own personal trainers, and their lives are so far removed from any reality that we can relate to that they might as well be living on Mars. And yet you have people out there, literally people out there who hang on their every word like they're the Oracle of Delphi. I mean, half these celebrities can't keep their own lives together. They got more drama than a High School Musical. I mean, one minute you got them endorsing some kind of skincare routine, and the next they're in rehab for the 5th time this year. And we're supposed to take their advice seriously? I don't think so. I'd trust a squirrel on a power line before I'd trust somebody who thinks normal day involves a red carpet and private jets. So don't give me your opinion about life or politics, and don't do it, especially if you're posting on X from a yacht and you got a cocktail in your hand that costs more than most people's mortgage payment. Ignore the celebrities. You say, well, you're going to talk about it today. No, we're going to mock it. We're going to ridicule it. We're going to have fun with it. And I want to make a point that's a very valid one about it. You know what I want? I want us to start championing the opinion of the blue-collar man or woman that's learned how to survive, learned how to live. And I don't know who collectively decided that the best source of wisdom comes from people who get paid to pretend to be somebody else for a living. I mean, when did we start treating movie stars like they're the high priest of real-world knowledge? They're not. They're idiots. They are literal idiots. Nothing says informed opinion like someone who once played a superhero in spandex. Now, that person literally has no life outside of what an industry created for them. And honestly, the moment I hear a celebrity spouting off about social issues, I can't help but picture them sitting in their mansion sipping a $15 juice cleanse while I'm just trying to figure out how to keep my kids alive and my bills paid. And every time they release a new opinion, it's like the world just stops to listen. And I'm trying to change that a little bit. So let's agree to stop treating celebrities like they're the gatekeepers of wisdom. Instead, let's listen to the people who are actually doing something meaningful. But today we are still going to make fun of them before we get into some more serious stuff. Before we go any further, look at what all I got. I got several kits over here from the wellness company. I've got my kids emergency kit. I don't even have kids, but I got a kids emergency kit. These are the prescriptions that come in like chewable forms and stuff like that. Then I've got the thing that I always travel with. That's my emergency medical kit. You can get these over at twc.health/Chad. Everyone should have this kit. Everyone should at least have this kit because you have your basic prescriptions in here. Middle of the night, supply chain issues, global crisis, whatever is happening. You need to have these basic prescriptions on hand. The wellness company will do that. And then, of course, you've got things like the first aid emergency kit. Everybody needs to have a first aid emergency kit. Go to twc.health/Chad. The promo code is Chad. They'll save you some money, $30 on a kit, and they'll give you free shipping. But get over there. You need to have this. Travel with this. Keep it with you at all times. There's a few things that I always have with me. I always have my wellness kit. I always have a tourniquet and some other things that I'm not going to mention. But you always got to have these things, man. I'm telling you, always got to have it. I mean, there was a plane that crashed in the middle of Philadelphia the other day, and I saw clips of a dude that almost got beheaded sitting in a restaurant because shrapnel from the crashed plane flew past his head. You never know. I mean, they're dropping planes out of the sky, man. We don't know what's going on. You never know what's going to happen. Graham gave me a hard time this morning because I got to fly on an airplane this week. Graham's like, I ain't flying on no airplane. Crazy world we're living in, no doubt about it. Speaking of crazy, let's bring him on. The producer that everybody loves to look at, listen to. Producer Royce is in the house. What's up, Royce?
Oh, thank you for the applause. It's so unexpected. I had no idea that they were gonna clap for me. It's so heartwarming.
I know. I need a.
I feel like someone receiving a Grammy right now. Just didn't know you were gonna clap.
Oh, I'm shocked. I can't believe that an industry that I helped create decided to award me for keeping it relevant for so long.
For singing songs that I didn't write.
I didn't write.
And music I didn't produce.
That's right. Oh boy, and of course, Party Foul Steve. He's next door. Well, let's see what Party Foul.
Hey,
Sit up, Steve. Sit up, Steve.
I'm sitting up. I've got a dog in my lap.
Yeah, he's
How'd I
got
get
Biscuit.
babysitting duty today?
Well, you know, which Biscuit's a cheater. Biscuit's a dog that'll run with any dog that'll hunt with her, right? She'll take anybody that lets her hang out. Biscuit, we grilled steaks, Royce. I eat a lot of meat. And we grilled steaks after this morning's Dear America show. And, of course, Biscuit knows when the steak hits the countertop. She's there to get her little slivers. I'm the one feeding the dog, and she's in there showing love to Party Foul Steve.
I have no idea. She just loves me. She can't help
She
it.
does. She's a snuggler. She'll get up there and lick on your neck right there. It's kind of gross. Oh, you know, I saw her lick her butt earlier, and she's putting that tongue right on your lips. And she'll do it as long as you let her do it. The entire Dear America show, she was sitting right here next to me.
Was she really?
Yeah. She snuggles. She's a snuggler, dude. She gets in there, and she doesn't move. She likes to burrow. Listen, guys, I want you guys to hit share. We appreciate you so much. Good to be with you guys. Watch Chad.com where all the fun stuff is. I had 3 incredible shows this weekend. We were in Austin. Man, that crowd was rowdy, bro. They were rowdy for a Thursday night. And then we were in Waco. They had a fun time, but they weren't quite as rowdy, but they were a fun crowd. And then we had if every show that I ever do could be like what Saturday night was with the comedy and the music, that's what I want to do. So if you've never had a chance to come see me or come see Chad and the Ragamuffins, which is our band, come do that, because that's a mixture of comedy and music, and people are surprised at how good our music is. It is very good. So,
Well,
had a great
I'll have
weekend.
to come to another show then, because when I went, it was just comedy. I was hoping to get some music.
Well, what I'm
Not
wanting
that
to do is I'm really moving towards a new tour idea, and I'm going to I want to do the music comedy mix in everything. Which is, it's kind of hard to transition because you have people that open for you and stuff like that. People who have come to depend on certain, and then you got to book a brand new show. It's all that's kind of difficult. But anyway, enough about that. You know, we're out here actually putting out real music. We believe in real country music. See, the difference, people have heard me say this over and over again. Country music is not Beyonce. Beyonce doesn't know anything about country music. And again, knowing the industry of music is one thing, but knowing country music, because country music is a history. It is a genre of music that historically has been lost because country music, real country music, is not politically correct. It doesn't have a happy ending. You know, we've talked about if you play country music back, you get your dog back, you get your wife back, you get your truck back. All the stuff comes back to you. Country music's about loss. It's about cheating. It's about drinking. It's about dying. It's about traveling. It's about locations. It's about geography. And these days, it's about a girl in cut-off blue jeans on a diamond plate tailgate with a pickup truck backed up to a pasture bonfire while she sips a little something out of a Dixie cup and the speakers go boom, boom. That's not country music. That is pop music, that pop country, whatever. And so that's a hill I'm willing to die on. That's why when we wrote Watered Down, Chris Wallen and I wrote Watered Down, we said, we're watered down like the country songs on our radio. It's so watered down. Everything's got to be about party time. That's the difference, is country music went from being about losing things in life and hurting, it went to about being about a party. And so whenever Beyonce came out with this deal, and of course, for those of you, the reason I'm talking about this, because last night she won the Grammy for best country album, which we'll get to that. We'll get to, this whole thing. There she is. And I want to talk about Zelenskyy first, but before we do, because she's shocked. I don't know if she knew or didn't know. I mean, she gave off a pretty good impression when they read her name off from the clip I saw. Of just pretending like, I didn't know this.
I think everyone was shocked because I watched the whole entire
right?
Grammys from the start to the end. So I just watch it for the entertainment value, and I say it's the comedic value. It's like there's a new Fresh Prince living in a mansion in Bel Air. He actually wore it to the Grammys.
Yeah, that's true. We'll talk about that in a minute. He wore his mansion on his head. But let's, whether it's these people pretending to be something they're not, or world leaders that are pretending to be something they're not, the world has been inundated with fake, phony people that are being propped up as puppets, okay? So Vladimir Zelenskyy, you've got that one pulled up. You got that one close at hand. So Vladimir Zelenskyy, he goes on, here's another performer. Here's another performer. I mean, he was a comedian. He was a dancer. He was all these different things. He was a male stripper. I don't know, prostitute. I don't know what all Zelenskyy was. But Zelenskyy had this interview where he said that $100 billion out of the $177 billion we gave them is somehow missing. He says, I don't know what happened to it. Now, I'd love to know, Royce, do you believe that? Do you believe what he's saying?
No, I think he hopped in his car and money fell out as he was getting in, and then drove back to his mansion and opened the door where money again fell out, and he has to walk through it like Joe Biden walks through sand just to get to the bathroom where he can wipe his butt with more money. I think he is, I mean, I don't know. He's made some sort of deal, but you see Joe Biden sending him an extra $500 million the day before he leaves office, and an extra $20 million here and something million here. We've sent them hundreds of, was it $177 billion? Right. And he doesn't know where half of it went.
Yeah,
that's inexcusable. That's not something that we should be okay with or believe either. Nobody, and he seems okay with it too. He's like, oh yeah, he's trying to play. Listen, Vladimir Zelenskyy is a professional at playing victim and kissing butt to whoever's in power. When Trump was in power, he was calling Trump. That phone call got leaked. Trump got in trouble for it. Then Joe Biden was in power, and he was like, "Oh, Joe Biden, I love Joe Biden." And he started taking all of our money again. And now Trump's back in office, and he immediately meets back with Trump, as like before he was even in office, has a conversation with Trump, being like, "Yeah, we want to fix this. This is all bad." Yada, yada, yada. Now he's exposing that half the money he was supposed to get never got to him. A, he actually has it, and like I said, is wiping his butt with it. Or B, that went back to Joe Biden and his family or other people who Joe Biden owed or something that he knows about, and he's just a professional butt kisser / victimize person. I don't know.
That's you just inspired me with that little rant. Right there. I want to go do a truck video and say basically everything you just said. Because
you can just rip my audio and mouth it.
Just do it. Just pretend like it's you, but it'd be Royce's voice. My assessment based on that, because I think you're 100% right. Here's a guy who knows that Joe Biden, nobody's listening to Joe Biden. Like, we've seen the last of Joe Biden. Nobody's trotting Joe Biden back out to make some kind of statement about anything. So they know Joe Biden's not going to come out and defend his administration. I mean, it's in the tomb. So now he has to play this victim game so that now maybe he can get the Trump administration or this Congress to throw some more, dollars his way, because he knows that the thing is run out. I don't care how much you try to manipulate. I got a feeling that that gravy train has run out. That's a party foul Steve move right there.
I just want to know how much money it cost him every time he comes over here to ask for more money. I mean, is it costing us because we have to do all the security and stuff? So that's just added even more cost.
Yeah, well, I mean, of course, we're paying for it. I mean, we've turned, however many different, quote, leaders in Ukraine into multimillionaires, and turned them into little oligarchs, and they've got their mansions in Beverly Hills. And, Zelenskyy, he is a puppet. He's a pawn. I mean, you've never seen him in anything but this little uniform that he's wearing. And then, it's just a joke. So
plus, kids normally fly free, and because he's 4'6", like he can probably passes for a child most of the time.
He can't get on the roller coaster, but he can fly first class.
Free food.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. But no, I don't believe this at all. I think that they know exactly where the money went. Now, was there kickbacks? Yeah, I think there were kickbacks. I think there's always kickbacks, especially with U.S. politicians. There's no other reason for them to justify these things. I think they're continually fighting for their ability to send money, crazy money, to all these places. I mean, we're seeing with the Doge stuff that now you start to see firsthand what you always knew, and that is the level of money that's been wasted by the federal government on frivolous things. And the left is melting down because how dare we have an unelected businessman who, is not a government official, who's got access to all these things to investigate this. They're losing their minds. They're scared to death is what they are. I mean, if you were to bring in an external auditor, if you were to say, let's say you're going through a divorce, right, and somebody's got to pay some child support, or somebody's got to pay some spousal support or alimony, it's not unusual if one of the spouses is hiding money for them to bring in a forensic auditor or an external person who will look at the books and say, okay, this is how the money's being spent, this is where the money is going, because people lie about money. I mean, the root of all evil is the love of money. And that love of money will make you do all kind of crazy things. And so that's why I've said over and over and over and over again, there's no such thing as a government of man that's not corrupt. You can't have access to billions, if not trillions of dollars and not be corrupt. You're going to have corruption. It's going to be there. I mean, whether it's $1,200 coffee cups, in the Pentagon or what, or $260,000 a month in sushi. I mean, the stuff that's coming out, I don't know what to believe anymore, but I believe it. I believe that the waste is there. So
now that's an expense I actually am okay with. Sushi, I can eat a lot of sushi.
$250,000 of sushi every month coming in the Pentagon, whether that's true or not. That's a lot of fish, dude. That's a lot of mercury being brought in there. So anyway, we'll see how this turns out. I say let's find out. And if he's lying about it, let's hold him accountable too. I mean, I've said from the very beginning, there needs to be an audit of this money. There seems to be no audit of where this money goes. You're just funneling it into a black hole. Well, then anything in the world can happen to it and be done with it. And
you might as well put it on a pallet and just fly a pallet of money over there, drop it off, and leave.
Well, it's funny because we've actually done things like that. Just ask Iran. I mean, put the pallets of cash down there. Put the pallets of cash. Throw that American flag in the chat. Throw it in there. That's usually out. Or give me a little Trump dance. I don't care. Throw something in the chat, man. I need to set up
for our money not being worth anything, we sure got to have it.
Again, it's a barter system. Things have value where we place it. On the Rumble chat, do you have to, when you set those up, you just have to set, there's the American flags. I'm throwing a couple of them in there too. Doggone it.
There's some wavy ones in there in the app.
Yeah, and got a little, I don't have the little dancing Trump.
I wonder if those will show if I put it up. Look at that. There, you can see it.
So where did those come from? Did you set those up, Royce?
No,
or they just automatically show? That's a Rumble thing. They throw a little dancing Trump in there.
Little dancing Trump, little wavy flag.
Yeah, that's great.
What else we got?
Need a little Chad Prather head.
I'm still getting used to Rumble. Still getting used to it. What's next, Royce? Pull something out there that, or are we going straight to the Grammys?
You want? No, we got a few other things.
Yeah, go to
them. The Grammys if you want.
Do it.
We got Trump's meeting with the Mexican president. We can get into.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was just watching. Trump's supposed to talk to Trudeau again at 3. And there's a lot of people out there who are saying, why is Trudeau still in power? We thought he resigned. If you remember, he resigned conditionally upon his party finding another liberal party person to take his position. And this is the way these dictators work, is they give the people what they want, lip service, but then they don't really go anywhere. So it's a pretense of democracy, if you will, but they don't ever really go anywhere. They're waiting for somebody else to be selected, but then nobody gets selected, so he just stays in power. So we'll see if Canada bends the knee. This morning, Graham said 30 days. Royce said Friday. It might be 3 o'clock today. Who knows? Because these people are folding like a cheap
2 days.
suit.
I said 2 days.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's going
to
to be quick.
done by Wednesday.
It'll be quick.
Latest.
They just simply don't have a bargaining chip in this deal. And I saw where, Trudeau came out today. It's like, we've always been America's biggest friend. Well, then shut your border. Quit letting fentanyl and illegals come across. Quit letting the traffickers come across. Stop this junk, dude. Don't claim to be, you helped us with hurricane this and wildfire that. But, dude, we're asking you to do certain things, and we are consistently keeping you buoyant economically. So Trump said he just spoke with President Claudia Sheinbaum, who, by the way, if you do a little history research on Claudia Sheinbaum, not a good person. You're talking about a Marxist Jewish person who basically won that position. She was placed, installed in that position. You know, I think they executed or murdered, assassinated 30 other people who were trying to run. So it's a very much a nation run by the cartels. So it's a friendly conversation. She agreed to immediately supply 10,000 Mexican soldiers on the border separating Mexico and the United States. These soldiers were specifically designed to stop the flow of fentanyl and illegal migrants into our country. Further agreed to immediately pause the anticipated tariffs for 1 month period, during which we'll have a negotiation headed by Marco Rubio and Scott Bessent and, of course, Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick. So we'll see, because I saw a lot of people responding to that saying, she's not going to do it. She's not going to do it. And, well, if she doesn't do it in 30 days, guess what? We just ramp up those tariffs again and just keep putting the pressure on them. But like literally within an hour of this coming to pass, suddenly they got El Ricky in custody, which that's one of those violent cartels that's out there. He's one of the heads of that. And so here's El Ricky. And they're like, suddenly they just knew where he was. Suddenly, in light of Trump pushing the tariffs and let's go to this deal and let's go to the bargaining table, suddenly they discovered where El Ricky was. I got a feeling.
You think they put him in that prison off there, or was he just wearing it?
I don't think that
Maybe
was his, I don't think that was his fashion. I don't think that was his fashion sense.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure it's another cartel that knew where he was and turned him in.
No, it's all connected, dude.
They take turns. Yeah,
I guarantee you that. I guarantee you the government. Here's what I wouldn't be surprised of. The Mexican government comes along and says, "Okay, Ricky, here's the deal. We got to use you as a pawn. We gotta bring you in. We're gonna let them see some pictures and stuff like that, because there's nobody in a political position of power in Mexico, and certainly not Claudia Sheinbaum, who's the president of Mexico, who hasn't been placed, installed, or at least approved of by the cartels.
Yeah.
So for them to just go in there and start attacking the head of the cartels, let's put him in a box in Guantanamo and see what he says.
I mean, you even have to question the 10,000 troops that they're going to send to that border.
True.
I mean, who are they? All of a sudden there's a giant Mexican army that's, prepared to defend their country.
Yeah. Flip the roles. If we sent 10,000 American troops to our southern border to stop Americans from going into Mexico, you got to figure you're probably going to get a little bit of white glove service.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even realize that Mexico had 10,000 troops to begin with.
That's kind of that's what I was saying, Royce. I'm like, I had no idea they had I know they have a military of some type, but not like that.
Listen, we have people that work on our border that are American law enforcement who are bought and paid for by the cartels. Trust me, these troops are cartel members too. They are. Yeah. I mean, there's a ton of them that are cartel members. I'm telling you, nothing happens in the nation of Mexico that is not approved of by the cartels. Nothing. I don't care if you're the mayor of the freaking city somewhere. I don't care where you are. And
I think maybe they were afraid of some drone strikes or something happening. So, hey, we better put some people up there and kind of.
Well, he did that. I mean, Trump did that over the weekend. I don't know if you guys have seen the aerial footage of the heat signatures of him just turning those people into hamburger mush, but he did it with the precision strikes on ISIS. Where was that, in Somalia? I'm just like, they're walking and then they're non-existent anymore. Just just squished them.
I did see that clip. We can't show it, but
no, we're not going to show it. Just like
he did it.
There you go. So, but no, these are cartel. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind these troops, they're cartel members. You got to remember, these are folks that learned how to swim in blue jeans and a T-shirt, dude. They jumped in the river, came across back and forth. They know. I can say a lot of things. People say I'm racist, whatever. I'm just telling you, people don't live the same way we live here in America. They don't do the same stuff. I've been all over the world. I had a woman who wanted to argue with me online all weekend long, and I get a kick out of arguing with stupid people because it's just fun. And sometimes I learn from it because I realize just how dumb people can be. And so this person's like, well, Chad, you should have more compassion on these people. I was like, listen, feelings, the reason we have laws in our country is because feelings is a terrible way to build and base a country off of. You don't do it off of feelings. That's why we operate by the rule of law. If you're here illegally, there needs to be consequences. How many people have you let into your house? Now, I just saw that New Jersey's Governor Murphy said that they have an illegal living in the apartment over their garage, and good luck coming to get him. Dude, who the hell you think you're intimidating? Nobody's intimidated by you. governor of New Jersey. Yeah, if they want to come get him, they'll come get him. But again, that's not a high priority for what we're trying to do. We're after the El Rickies of the world. We're after the El Ricky, the people that get their authority from El Ricky to go out and do violence and cause mass, problems. And by the way, I'm going to get Sarah Gonzalez on the show tomorrow. She was in her she went to the Dallas protest yesterday, got assaulted a few times.
I saw a little bit of that. I thought she was trying to get assaulted.
So yesterday she was, trust me. I texted her yesterday. Yesterday was her birthday. Happy birthday, Sarah G. I love her so much. She's my buddy. And I texted her yesterday. We were talking as we were traveling yesterday. I was texting her, and she said, "Pray for me. I'm going to the protest." I'm like, "You are crazy. Like, you are absolutely crazy." She'll do anything for the gram, man. She will get the footage. But it was exactly how you would expect it to go.
Did you see her fat shaming that dude?
Everybody. She was fat shaming all of them. Yeah, and again, to her point, and she can talk for herself when we get her on tomorrow. She can talk for herself, but I guarantee you, knowing Sarah like I do, she was basically saying, you're not some underprivileged, malnourished, starving immigrant refugee that came over here. No, you've been feeding your fat butt full of flour and corn tortillas for so long that now you got hemoglobin and insulin that's through the roof, blood sugar through the roof. So she was pointing out, you're not oppressed here. You're not oppressed. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And if anybody, listen, I love Sarah Gonzalez, and I make sure that she continues to love me, because if there's any woman in the world that I'm actually frightened of, it's Sarah Gonzalez. I've had Sarah start to get mad at me before, and I'm like, hold it. Let's negotiate here, okay? She'll do more than put tariffs on you. So anyway, Mexico at least seems to be moving in the right direction, and Trump will. I think he'll get stuff done. I think he's going to get this stuff done.
I think his negotiating tactics work.
Yeah, and so let's see what happens. I mean, we already know. Tom Homan's already reported that the border crossings have now decreased by 93 to 94%. That's huge, or the border encounters, I should say.
Yeah, so and I think we can get that crossing down to 0.
I think we can. Hit the like, hit the share, hit the like, hit the share. Let's respond in the chat. I want to hear from you. I love seeing it. I can see the chat right here. So I love seeing what you guys have to say about this whole deal. All right, pop us something up there, Royce. Let's talk about some more things, brother. We'll see what happens with Canada, though. He says he's going to talk to him at 3:00, and I got a feeling he talked to him this morning. He talked to Trudeau this morning, and he already said that we're going to talk again at 3. I think Graham was right this morning when he said, you know what that conversation is going to be is you got till 3:00. To do something about it. All right, so Bouncy Knowles, Beyonce Carter, she's married to Jay-Z, right? And
I don't know.
Yeah, Jay-Z. Okay. That's the guy. That's her husband. He looking all shocked. She's looking all blonde. And of course, whoever tweeted that says she knows it was rigged. She should not have won Album of the Year. Should have gone to. I mean, I can list 3 people off the top of my head immediately that should have gone to.
I don't think she knew ahead of time. I think it was a surprise.
No, I don't think she expected it. And but I want to talk about this. I want to talk not that she won. I mean, it's ridiculous that she won. She should not have won. She's not a country artist, and even the album she put out was not a country album. It was horrible. I mean, horrendous. It has nothing to do with country music, but this is the industry we're living in, which tells you that all of our institutions are finally dead. Like nail in the coffin. I mean, if Trump could maybe Trump can put tariffs on the Grammys or something like that and bring back some real taste in music. Music is in a horrible state. The stuff I listen to, it ain't on your radio, that's for sure. But she had that whatever, and just because you put cowboy in front of your name and put something out on country radio, terrible. And I don't even know most country radio stations, particularly around Texas, who do love historically country music, they wouldn't even play her stuff.
The Grammys did one thing, and that was to raise millions of dollars to build back millionaires' homes. So good for you.
Yeah, the folks in the Palisades will be happy, man. The Grammys.
Yeah.
This was in L.A., wasn't it? It wasn't the thing in L.A.
Yeah, Isn't that where somewhere there?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, I didn't even realize the Grammys were going on until Royce decided to send me that picture. Sent all of us the picture of Kanye West.
I did not. Don't even.
Nah, Tony did it, didn't he? Was it Tony
I
or
think it was
Todd?
Graham. I think it was Graham, dude.
Was Graham?
Someone sent it to me,
It
and
was
then that
Graham.
sent me on a big. I went on a deep dive looking everywhere because I didn't see that part of it.
Well,
I-
been hunting
I-
for it.
I wasn't watching it. I knew Party Foul Steve was watching it, and I said, "Did you see Kanye's wife or girlfriend or whatever level of trashy, whatever? She's abused. I mean, there's no question about it. You can look at the body language in the face. I mean, this woman's being abused. It's emotional abuse.
Are we going to show her picture up here?
No,
or-
we're not.
No, we're not.
For those of you who don't know, she basically came nude. They weren't invited to the Grammys. Kanye and I don't know if it's his wife or girlfriend. I'm sure somebody will correct me on this thing. It's his wife.
They're married.
So, you could tell on the red carpet, Don Lemon tried to stop him for an interview, and he goes, I got to find my center. I got to find my center. And then he just kept on walking because Don Lemon is absolutely irrelevant to anything. And so, Kanye, who is mentally ill, obviously went in there, and you could see a deep conversation about how they were going to do this, and she took her big fur coat off, and she's wearing just this sheer skirt, which didn't hide anything from the kids. So there's some images out there.
I mean, you actually saw the box the kids came in.
I don't think they have any kids. I don't think they. All right, Todd, Hot Seat Todd said it was Graham.
Here's this. We can show this.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
The juice box. There it is.
I don't know why it's a juice box, but it is.
Well,
Under the juice box is nothing. Pretty much.
There's nothing. I mean, she took it off, and then they escorted them out. They asked them to leave. They did ask them to leave because he was not invited there. And fair enough. Listen,
It makes me wonder who asked them to leave. How about the other people, the adults in the room? Was it everyone that asked them to leave, or was it just?
I mean,
who
no
got
invite
sent over there
know?
to do it.
I mean, if you don't have an invite, I guess you got a reason to do it. And I think that's Kanye knew he was going in. He was going to be asked to leave. But back when Kanye was trying to, whatever he was doing, trying to visit with Trump, make nice with Trump. That's the thing about Trump. Trump will meet with anybody. Like, he'll meet with anybody. And sometimes it ain't always in his best interest. Like when Kanye went to Mar-a-Lago and brought stupid Nick Fuentes with him, and Trump didn't know who Nick Fuentes was. Trust me, he didn't know. And so, and he surprises him with that. Well, any guy that'll sneak your naked wife into the Grammys, he's used to sneaking people into places, and he did it in Mar-a-Lago. So, Trump will meet with anybody. But even in the meetings, even the televised meetings, Kanye would go off the rails. Even back then, everybody's like, oh, we got Kanye. And I was like, I don't care. Like, I saw pictures of Candace Owens and, those guys, who was it, Charlie Kirk and all them walking out there with Kanye. And I'm like, I could care less about Kanye West. I mean, to me, I would rather flush the toilet than upload the opinion of a celebrity. I would sit there and watch the toilet bowl swirl before I paid attention to the opinion of a celebrity. But the reason this is important, because there are going to be people who say, well, why are you talking about it? Because your kids are talking about it. Because your grandkids are talking about it. Because we got a society that's talking about it. And this is the stuff that we've ignored long enough, the peddling of this filth, that now it's become a cancer in our society. These people out there on the red carpet, these people who we know good and well, have engaged in illicit lifestyles. We see the Diddy parties. We hear about the Epstein list. We hear about the peddling of influence. We know about all the kind of things I could list off I'm not going to list off. We don't know who's involved because these people are being hidden from us. I will say this. I'm happy that Trump's doing the tariffs. I'm happy that Trump's doing the thing with Canada. I'm happy that Trump's doing the thing with Mexico. I'm happy about the Panama Canal. I'm happy about all this other talk. I'm glad he's got people on their toes. I'm glad he's getting rid of the DEI stuff. But he said he would release the Epstein files. He said he would release the Epstein list. So, Mr. President, I'm making a plea to you. This is a priority. The Diddy list, these are a priority. Because again, if this is a blight on our society, you can't ask God's blessings and his continued providence on our lives in this country if we continue to hide evil filth like this. So I want people to see it. I want people to be exposed to it because I want them to be at least aware enough to be able to have a conversation with their children, with their grandchildren, and say, listen, there's a reason why we believe that certain things are evil. Because, what does the Apostle Paul say? He says, don't be deceived. Bad company corrupts good morals. You know the old saying, man, you lie down with dogs, you're going to get fleas. And we got an infestation in this country. So they want to get up there and preach to us. They want to get up there and tell us the deal, and pop that the other image up of Beyonce being announced. You got Jay-Z back there behind her, and Jay-Z is allowed to go to the Grammys. This is the same dude that was accused of raping a 13-year-old girl at an after party following the 2000 MTV Video Music Awards. Why aren't we talking about that? Why aren't these people being held accountable? But there's a billionaire in his tuxedo.
Yep. With short memories.
Real short.
Or real short
people choose to let these folks just be above the law. And I think, if you want to talk about DOGE and Department of Government Efficiency, and we're going to get to the bottom of the bureaucratic nightmares and the governmental nightmares out there of the evil spending and all that kind of stuff, at what point in time are we going to say the stuff that we're beaming into our households day after day, the stuff we're listening to on the radio? I don't need Lil Nas X putting out a video for my kids to see where he's dry humping the devil. I don't need to see Beyonce dancing around in her little dealio. I don't need to see Kanye's naked wife. This is why I don't watch this stuff, dude. I don't pay attention to it until I see it afterwards. And then it grieves me, first of all. And then it ticks me off because I know that everybody said, oh, that's just Hollywood. Or that's just New York, or that's just Nashville, or that's just whatever. No, it's got to just be gone. It's got to be gone. You're like, well, your values aren't the same as their values. Well, you got that right, sister. But what they're doing, man, I'll tell you this, guys. I'll tell you this. Steve's heard me say this many, many times. The proverb says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. That word there for thinks in his heart, that word is the word for a gatekeeper in the Hebrew. Literally what that says is, as a man gives access to his heart, or as a man gives access to his soul, your mind, will, and emotions, what you give access to into your soul is what you will become. So if you open the door to it, and that's what our kids are doing. Our kids are opening the door to this filth and these filthy people. I don't want the impartation of immorality to happen so that these people are just catching this. I mean, it's a contagious deal.
Yeah, the mental health of this country, and you talk about make America healthy again, hey, we really got to do something about the mental health.
Across the board, dude. You're not wrong. Mental health, emotional health, our relational health. I mean, we think that everything's supposed to be dealt with the way we deal with it online on a keyboard. It's not, man. That's not the real world we're living in. Social media ain't real. And people are seeing it.
Garbage out.
Giggo, that's right. You're exposed to it. You're exposed to it, and people are eating it up. That's why The View is still on. I always see people say, who watches this garbage? Oh, man. They peddle it out there in the airports. It's out there. People say, who's watching CNN?
You go into airport,
it's in the airport.
You're forced to watch it.
Yeah. I can't stand it, dude. I don't go to movies. I really don't. I can't. I mean, I pay attention to just enough to be. Somebody asked me the other day, so why don't you ever talk about pop culture? I was like, because I'm stupid. I don't know anything about it. Like that Dank Stanky, whatever her name was, Moss Danks, whatever the big girl that was.
Well, to be fair, nobody knew about her before suing Lyft.
So I don't know if she's a big thing or not. Well, she is a big thing, no pun intended. But I don't know about little Doss Danky Stanky Manky, Dank DeMoss, that's her name, who's suing Lyft because the guy said he didn't want her in her car. But anyway, but you're right. I see folks talking about this thing. It does start in the household, man. That's why the first place of government is me. If I can't govern myself, I can't govern anything. Then I got to govern my household. If I can't govern my household, why am I worrying about what's going on in Washington, D.C. or the State House whenever I can't control what's coming into my own home? And you got your kids on the screen, got your kids on an iPad, they're on their phones, they're doing their thing. They're not looking up for their screens. They've literally exposed it with the studies of saying this is causing a mental health crisis in our children. So when people say, well, why do you talk about it? Well, I don't download the opinions of celebrities, and I don't put any stock in any of that stuff. But at the same time, I do want people to be aware. And we can beat that horse all day long, but I want people to be aware that it's out there. So... The View. What else we got? Oh, so Gaga, was that the deal? Gaga. Let's hear some of their opinions, man. Lady Gaga, I want you to know that trans people are visible.
Yeah, they are. They're very visible. You can look right under their neck.
There are a few telltale signs. So this is Lady Gaga. I couldn't pick her out of a lineup because I've never seen her look the same way twice. I guess she won a Grammy for something. And who's that with her? Bruno Mars?
Yep.
Yeah,
Bruno.
It's their song together.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Play the clip. Let's see what she said.
And I just want to say tonight that trans people are not invisible. Trans people deserve love. The queer community deserves to be lifted up. Music is love. Thank you. And I just...
This, I could blow a fuse.
Think about it is she's a freaky deaky herself, but her, she has good music. I mean, it just depends on your definition of what good music is. She puts some great stuff together, but then we got to add all that.
I don't like the, people sometimes say, just shut up and sing. Well, I think you're entitled as an individual, as a human being, as a citizen, to have an opinion. But it's what's done with that opinion is what bothers me, is that people hold on to these words. It says, trans people are not invisible. No, they're also not women or men that they're pretending to be. We know they're visible, and they're very audible. The problem is you can have whatever psychosis you want to have. You can pretend you're a butter knife. I don't care until I have to play games and have a government out there that is going to continue to normalize this in order to placate their inability to help people with their mental illness. So they're taking the easy route out rather than help people who have a 45% attempted suicide rate and saying, hey, there's something wrong. Like when you fundamentally don't know who you are, there's a mental illness. If I have schizophrenia, if I'm hearing voices, if I'm having a psychotic event, if I've got borderline personality or bipolar personality or any list of the psychosis out there, people are going to want to try to get me help. But yet they're so lazy, they take the easy route because she gets with it, the standing ovation and the cheap applause. And they're going to do what? They're going to lend a little bit of their little lip service on a platform on the Grammys and say, well, they exist. Dear God, at this stage in the game, we know they freaking exist because y'all won't shut up about it. It's all we ever hear.
One of the things I noticed when I think his name's Trevor, the host of the entire show, was making his political jokes. No one even laughed. They were like,
he's not funny.
They were scared of it. There's a couple of things he said I thought were funny, from that perspective, but they weren't going to laugh. Yeah. They would lose 50% of their income.
Yeah. Listen. Party Foul Steve will tell you, I ain't always the easiest person to be around.
No, you need to go seek mental health.
And the thing is, I have. The Viking therapist. Follow him. Trevor Wilkins on Instagram is my therapist. I talk to him all the time. He deals with people like me who are just dumb and crazy and have big thoughts. And those big thoughts sometimes run wild everywhere. And he's used to dealing with first responders and military heroes and just alpha type people. I'm not putting myself up there in that. I'm just saying these type A personalities, he deals with them. The Viking therapist, he's phenomenal for men. And I talked to him.
Does he look like a Viking?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he does. He's got the long hair and the long beard and the whole thing. But does
he eat raw meat?
I like to.
You're thinking of Liver King.
Okay.
Liver King.
I was like, that sounds familiar, but
yeah, that's Liver King. But no, I think men should get help. Somebody came like this kid right here.
There it is.
Perfect example.
The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
John Rich, and I started to text John last minute, see if he could jump on the show today. Maybe we'll get him on this week because John has some pretty good takes on the Grammys and just the way this stuff works and how it plays out in our everyday world. And John was talking about, this is Jaden Smith, this is Will Smith's son. He says, wow, what he's wearing is ridiculous. There's a real sadness in this kid's eyes as a dad. This hurts my heart, to be honest. And I know that they were like recreating some kind of album cover or something like that, but come on, man.
He was forced to wear that, and you'll never convince me otherwise.
I mean,
he looks like a kid that was forced to put on a coat to go outside or wear a sweater to school.
Yeah, an ugly one that your friends would make fun of.
Well, at least
Which they should make fun of it.
At least he's got a roof over his head. I mean, this is, and his sister didn't look a whole lot better. I mean, she was basically out there in a bikini. John said, folks are asking me how the music award shows work. He said, labels, publishers, all have blocks of votes. They make deals with each other. You vote for mine, we'll vote for yours type of thing. It's got zero to do with who made the best music. So Beyonce with the Country Album of the Year, nice, right? Same thing is true with CMAs, ACMs, Billboard, etc. All work exactly the same. Last night, the Grammys outed themselves in a big way. Can you scroll down on that just a little bit? Are you able to see the tweets underneath that? I want you to come down to Chris Wallen's tweet. I think he's down there, Based Records, which is my record label. See if we see it right there. Right there. Go back up. Right there. Go back up. Right. One more. There.
Oh, yeah, I gotcha.
So they finally said the quiet part out loud. The Grammys just proved what we already knew. It's all about backroom deals, not real talent. Meanwhile, actual country artists are out here making real music and getting ignored. Absolutely a joke. I mean, the fact that Lainey Wilson didn't win. I don't know who was nominated. I don't even know who was nominated. Was she? Do you remember, Steve? Was she nominated?
Yeah, she was nominated for something.
Was Post Malone nominated for Album of the Year?
Post Malone was nominated for something. Like I say, I don't really pay attention too close to what people were. I don't follow the awards for the awards, just all the other stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
I know. It's like watching a circus. It is like watching a circus. So anyway, I won't keep hammering this thing. I just want people to be aware and you are. I know that our audience, I know you are, guys. I know that you are. But man, it's not getting better. The evil is real. It's out there, and it's just gross. It's just gross. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm not the guy that sits out there on his high horse and judges everybody. I really don't. I
judge them all.
I'm
like everybody equally.
I really do have more empathy than people give me credit for. You know, again, you don't touch my kids, you don't touch my values, you don't touch my rights. But after that, like, I do feel sorry for some people, like the Jaden Smith kid. You know, I mean, they got him gender confused from the age of 8 or however old he was. I mean, this kid, you got to feel sorry for that. I mean, Will Smith and Jada, something ain't right there. I mean, and again, I was just with someone that I know who's got a long career in Hollywood, and he was talking about. He said, you know why the Nickelodeon, the new Nickelodeon station had that orange foot was their logo? Mm-hmm. He said because Dan Schneider, who got kicked out of the network and got arrested for being inappropriate with the child stars, he liked to suck on little girls' feet. And so that's what they made.
I used to watch Nickelodeon as a kid. They had feet in there all the time. Just as
that was
jokes,
the whole deal.
Whatever. Oh, they put peanut butter on your foot. Huh?
Yeah.
And they're showing people their toes. Like, it was a little bit awkward as a kid, too. I remember being like, oh, wow.
These people are disgusting. Skip said, I don't discriminate. I hate everyone equally. I can see why people do. Like, I could see, because we've been exposed for the last 25 years to so much extra crazy. Like, the crazy's always been out there. But now it's streamed into our home. I mean, I want you to look right here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't even reach them all. Look at all the remotes I got right here, Royce. I mean, this is just to control the control room in here. I got 3 more over there. I got remotes everywhere, dude. I got a computer
here. What could you
here.
Possibly need that many remotes for?
I got all the TVs and the monitors. Like, I can see all the news. I can control the power in here. I got a TV right here that I can see. It's all got the show or the news on it at the same time. And then I got all this stuff. I got my computer right here. I got my phone over here. I got an iPad over there. I got all kind of stuff. Now I'm putting my input back on here so I can see the live chat. I am a plugged-in redneck, dude. Like,
those are the best kind.
I got a little bitty monitor right here.
We gave Steve an 18-inch monitor.
You know what's crazy? I have 0 remotes on my desk.
Everybody's, why are you all
splitting?
splitting?
My laptop.
I know. I got. I just received $4.25. Look at there. It just told me. Woo. I'm getting paid today. $4.25. Everybody says that, you know, oh, I'm a grifter. I was talking about the wellness company the other day on social media. It's like, oh, grifters are going to grift. I'm like, no, workers are going to work. And, you know, I mean, we have a podcast. That's our job. And speaking of which, I need you to do me a favor. If you like this show, and you appreciate that we have this show, and you want to help me afford the batteries that are in these remote controls, I need you to help me. And it doesn't cost you a dadgum thing. It's no obligation whatsoever, absolutely free. I just need you to send a text message. The word CHAD, C-H-A-D, I spell it CHAD, to 989898. When you do that, Birch Gold will send you a free, no obligation information kit that will teach you how to secure your retirement. Secure your retirement, your IRA, your 401k with gold. And they will send you that information kit at no obligation if you text CHAD to 989898. Do that for me, because that lets them know that our viewers value this show. And it's like, you know what, just do it. Please just do it today. And it helps this show tremendously. It doesn't cost you a thing. I was just on the phone with my boy Trey Bowe. We were talking about gold and silver and stuff. And Trey knows as much about gold and silver as anybody in the world. Talking about the retirement plans that Birch has. They do a good job with this stuff, man. Birch Gold, text them, CHAD, to the number 989898, and we appreciate you on that. Follow them on X. They have some great articles. Birch Gold. They don't have a lot of followers, but they write some great articles. What else have we got, Royce? Is there anybody else we can make fun of? Oh, Joy Villa. Pop up Joy Villa. Let me give her a shout out. I love Joy. I've known Joy for a long time. Those of you who remember, she wore back in, I think it was 2016, her Make America Great Again dress to the Grammys. And so she's here now, and Joy, she slammed them, dude. Play that clip.
I think the ones that should be deported are being deported. To be honest, I'm a Latina. My family came from this country to this country legally, and I love to see rapists, human traffickers deported. I don't want to see them here. I want us to be free for all colors, for all people. Like, that's what makes America great again. So we can create, so we can live. Like, as an artist, as a musician, I want to be able to walk at night and not think that I'm going to get killed by an illegal alien. And so those are the people getting deported, and those are the people that should get deported.
I think
facts.
I've known Joy for a long time, 10 years, I guess. And every time I'm around her, buddy, she doesn't pull any punches, Jack. I mean, she gets right after it. So Trump is renewing that vow to reclaim the Panama Canal. He's doubling down on that thing, man. Gonna get it because, you know, the president of Panama, after meeting with Marco Rubio, said that they weren't going to renew their deal with China. So I don't trust anybody. I'm joining you, Skip. Hate everybody equally.
Last thing.
What do you got? Oh, I found this today. I was on the toilet. I was thinking about some really heavy things and complex thoughts.
He was doing push-ups.
Yeah, I was working out real hard. So apparently there's this woman.
Ab workout, right?
Yeah, I was doing what do you call those? Crunches.
Burpees, crunches, yeah.
Yeah, no. We don't believe in it. Don't believe in doing my Kegels. This is a woman who flew to Pakistan. Apparently she met some guy online. She got there and he ghosted her, and she overstayed her visa, and now she's demanding $100,000 from the Pakistani government because she's going to rebuild the country. I don't know what she's going to do with $100,000. I mean, Zelenskyy can't find the $100 billion. This is hilarious. I mean, you got to hand it to this woman, just if for nothing else, the boldness. Now there is a expletive towards the end of this. If I can time it right, I'll bleep it out vocally. But play the clip, Royce.
Here, please come here. Come.
Please sit down. Be quiet. I'm not sitting down. Please have a seat. My plan is to reconstruct this whole country, okay? I'm asking for 100K or more. I need 20K by this week, okay? In my pockets, in cash, okay? That's a demand to the government. The government is gonna fix up these buildings, fix up the streets, and clean up these streets. It's ridiculous out here. I do not like it, okay? Lock him up.
Right now.
Right now, I'm going to mind my fucking business. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Clear the way.
Okay. Please come here.
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous, guys.
Ridiculous. Can we do that? I'm going to go somewhere and just be like, hey. Now, first of all, it's a good thing that online Pakistani dude ghosted her because he didn't want to live with that. But I want you to go
she
back to a shot of her face and let's look at those eyebrows again real quick.
Oh yeah.
Go back to the eyebrows for those of you who missed that. I mean, she's obviously nuts. See, they got a clip there. Okay, see if we come back a little bit more. There, there they are.
Whoa,
We're like,
where are
you've
they
got to
going?
zoom in because they're an inch higher than where their eyebrows were supposed to be. And
How
she
are
just
they so dark though? They're darker
she
than that
did
black.
that with a Sharpie marker. She drew those things on, and they don't even match. Like she got one of them looking surprised over there. So she can't reconstruct her makeup, much less the streets in Pakistan. And I don't know what she thought she's going to do with.
Well, I wonder what happened. Did they already deport her eyebrows and left her behind?
They're deporting her one little piece at a time. She's about to be in the find out stage. There's so many people in our world today who have lived without consequences. They've lived without consequences. Other countries, and now Trump is teaching them a lesson. Then you have folks like this. They just think they could just go in there and boss people around. Now, obviously, she's an idiot. She's not all there. But to go in there and stand around this bunch of men, which Pakistani men, they're not going to treat the women the best, okay? And she's going to go in there and say, I mean, at the time of this, she might not even still be alive. We don't know. I mean, they might have started throwing rocks 5 minutes after this. But
What did this Pakistani man offer this woman to get her to come all over
Love,
there
dude.
and then ghost
Yeah,
her?
I want to know because he needs to talk to a bunch more over here and get them to go over there.
Well,
That's true.
I
We
can
can give
tell
them a
you,
list.
I can tell you that I have had women who've driven across the country and shown up at my live shows thinking that we were in a relationship, and we were not. I assure you, ladies, I am not in a relationship with you. You are talking to a scam account. You do not need to pay attention to that. I do not DM people, all right? And I don't ask for anything except for you to text Chad to 989898.
Yeah, Steve, we had to tell him to shut those accounts down. He couldn't continue to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't keep going.
I've had the stuff I've heard, thousands, tens of thousands dollars that people have been scammed out of by these fake accounts and stuff like that. So she got ghosted. But there are people who will travel across the country or apparently around the world thinking they're in a relationship with somebody. And, you know.
Yo, imagine
that's
this
what they do.
guy though wasn't even from. What he was like from America, same state.
I
and got her
just
to
have
leave.
no idea why anybody on the face of the planet will get on their computer and Venmo at Party Foul Steve money. If they're out there and they will, go ahead.
Yeah.
It's true. Good, very good point.
Party
I mean,
value
that's
or
what
funny.
happens. I mean, there's somebody that's going to send some money,
Yeah.
true.
whether it's $1 or $10 or 1,000.
I mean, some weird sucker would send money to @RoyceChamberlain on Cash App. Why would they do that?
It's like-
Right, Chad? What would they send to you? It doesn't make sense.
Steve,
Chad
Steve-
had a instance where someone had been quite a bit of money.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, we've seen some crazy stuff. But anyway, this lady, she's nuts. So anyway, maybe that's how we get rid of them. They just keep deporting themselves. Get rid of all the crazy. All right, let's jump over into some super chats. Before we do, I'm going to remind you guys, watchchad.com. My next show, I believe, is in Klamath Falls, Oregon. And then we're going to be in, got a couple of shows coming up. It's kind of light so far, and I wanted to
We've got 2 super chats right now. If you want us to read your super chat, go ahead and leave it now.
Yeah.
And we'll
Yeah,
read 'em.
we'll even read the dollar ones.
Texas City, Texas. That's the new High Horse. We're doing a show down there on the 20th of
On
February.
Thursday, February.
Bryan, Texas on the 21st.
Okay.
Yeah, so we got a few things coming up. Springfield, Illinois in March. Anyway, it's always changing. WatchChad.com.
right.
Hey, and the other thing that I need people to do is go where audio podcasts are and listen to some of the stuff over there. Listen to our show. It helps the rankings go higher. And I dropped down to 88 over the weekend. I don't like that.
Oh, hit play, walk away, whatever you got to do.
Hit play, walk away, baby. Keep it on repeat. All right, Royce, what do we got, buddy?
Here we go.
I thought Trump derangement syndrome was bad. Trump's first time. It's worse now. Beyonce isn't country. I grew up on Patsy Cline, Johnny Cash, Waylon, the old greats. That was real country. I got to agree with you, Caddy Highlander. Willie Waylon George and George Conway and Patsy, Dolly, and Loretta. Give me some of that. When I say George and George, I mean Straight and Jones. All right. MX wife 859 porn. That's all you got to say. It's so accessible and free. It's downright evil. I lock my remote up when I leave to help keep temptation at bay because it's an addiction. My husband And for years, thanks for your show. You know, and that's true across the board, unashamedly. Most all men have dealt with that. Men are visual creatures. They've had to deal with that, and it's been thrown in their face. All men at some point in time have. And the ones that say they've never worried about that, yeah, you're an anomaly. Trust me. I just, most guys have had that. And it's an addictive, it's not only an addictive thing, it's poison for your soul. It just absolutely ruins everything internally in your spirit. So you're right. We're exposed
It gives
to
you
all
a
this stuff.
false perception on what real people are.
You get that, you know, that mental high or whatever, but it will literally starve your soul, man. And it is a horrible, horrible thing. And our kids have access to it. That's why when our Attorney General Ken Paxton, you know, he made things like, you can still access it in different ways. But when he made the biggest one, what was it, Pornhub or whatever, illegal in the state of Texas, and it's illegal in the state of Oklahoma.
They just did it in Florida too.
Yeah, in Florida, you can't get it, and people are like, "Oh, that's violating." Blah. I don't care. You know what? You don't want to leave a loaded gun hanging around. Just you know, you don't do it.
Biscuit saying hi one more time.
Oh, look who woke up, Biscuit. Mm-hmm. Anything else?
That's it. That's all.
That's
we got.
it. All right, guys. Please hit like. Please hit subscribe on Chad Prather's Rumble. Don't forget on the subject with Megan Duthu. And then, of course, Hot Seat Todd. They start, Todd's is tomorrow. Megan's tomorrow too, right? Or is she tonight? Megan might be in the chat.
I don't know. She might be tonight.
Anyway, check them out. We got a lot of stuff going on. And, of course, Dear America in the mornings. Graham was with us this morning, and we had a good time. Graham is playing it by ear on when he can be there. So, anyway, a lot of craziness going on in our world right now, man. We're still praying for folks that were affected by that tragedy, and multiple tragedies have happened in the last week. Pray for our country, folks. Pray. I am working on a new book, Royce. I didn't tell you this. And it is called, well, I'm not going to tell you yet. Working on a book. It's going to be out pretty soon, actually.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be good. All right. If you want to hear some good country music, go get What Happened to That by yours truly. Go wherever music is offered. Party Foul Steve, you got any final parting words? Biscuit, have anything to say?
I do not, because this girl wants loving. So
she's got stinky breath, dude. Dachshunds have stinky
but
breath. Yeah, what a great Monday. Royce, anything? Striker J, $2.
We have one more super chat. You want to read that?
Yeah, let's do it. Am I the only one that thinks Steve is the real voice of Hank from King of the Hill? I can't be the only one that thought he looked like DEI version of E.T.
I'm definitely DEI, that's for sure.
Can you stretch your neck out real far? Just go
I have no
way out.
neck. It's like, I got
Bobby.
Hey, Bobby.
No, we'll see you guys
I
tomorrow.
can't do impersonations. I've tried.
Will Graham be on the show? You'll have to show up at 9 a.m. Eastern to find out. So be on the show.
Absolutely. Hey, I love you guys. I really do. It means a ton to me. And thank you so much for being just loyal and just faithful to just hanging out with us, man. We have a good time, man. Some of you guys mean so much to me. So for Royce, for Party Foul Steve, I love you guys. You can go over to chadgear.com. We still have some closeout deals on some apparel. chadgear.com. Check it out. And or your one-stop shop for all the stuff that's crazy, where all the fun stuff is. Watch chad.com. I love you. God bless you. Pray for our country. We'll talk to you in the morning. Bye.